ADHD case study, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, combined type, DSM-5 code 314.01. Meet Ryan. Ryan is a 9-year-old Caucasian boy from Staten Island, New York. Ryan is energetic, curious, and loves to explore the world around him. His favorite subjects in school are science and music, and he loves any opportunity to explore something new. Ryan is often described as being on a motor. He's unable to calm himself down and has a really hard time sitting still. Although he wants to do well, he often gets in trouble with his teachers and parents for never being able to slow down. This is a photo of Ryan's family. It was taken 2 years ago on a summer vacation. In this photo, we see his parents, Jake and Anna, who are happily married. Jake is a lawyer, and Anna is a nurse. His younger sister, Layla, is only 1 year younger than he is, but could not be more opposite. Whereas he is always running around and getting into something, she loves to sit and do quiet activities like reading and drawing. This is a photo of Ryan's home. Ryan and his family live in a big house on a quiet street in Staten Island. They have a large backyard with a pool and swing set. His street is filled with families that have children his age. Ryan and his friends love to spend time outside playing and exploring new things in the neighborhood. Lately, Ryan has been getting into trouble at home as his parents are becoming increasingly frustrated with his poor behavior. They report that he hardly ever picks up his toys, always loses new things they get him, has trouble sitting still, is always loud and cutting people off in conversations, and can do things that are simply unpredictable. This is a picture of Ryan's school. Ryan is a 4th grader at PS 50. PS 50 is the local public elementary school in his neighborhood. His favorite subject is science, and he absolutely loves to participate in hands-on experiments and figuring out new things. Ryan's second favorite subject is music. He plays saxophone in the 4th grade band and loves to show off his skills. Although Ryan really wants to do well and please his teachers, sometimes he simply cannot control his behavior. Ryan's music teacher reported that oftentimes in the middle of band rehearsal, he will put down his saxophone, jump off of the stage, and run laps around the auditorium while the other students are trying to rehearse. She often reports that he loses music, forgets to bring his saxophone to class, and has to ask friends to borrow pencils and reeds. She was concerned about this behavior, so she went to talk to his homeroom teacher. Turns out that Miss Smith was noticing some similar behaviors in homeroom. Ryan is one of 30 students in a general education classroom. At a recent parent-teacher conference, Miss Smith told Ryan's parents about some concerning behaviors in the classroom. She reported that he often forgets his materials, including homework for different subjects, and sheet music and saxophone for band. He rarely completes tasks or follows through with directions, and has trouble staying focused in class. He is continually late for class and music lessons because it takes him so long to find anything in his messy locker. It appears as if he's not even listening when being spoken to, which has caused some challenges with his friends and teachers. He is very distractible, especially when he's not seated in the very front of the classroom. Ryan's behaviors also include not being able to stay seated in class, and running around the auditorium during band. When he is seated in the classroom, he often taps his pencil on the desk or wiggles his fingers to make noise. He blurts out answers inappropriately in almost all specials and has difficulty waiting his turn, both in social situations like playtime and recess and in the classroom when lining up for lunch. He talks too much and interrupts conversations and has all around begun to have trouble with his friends and teachers. When Ryan's parents heard the description of these behaviors, they started to realize that a lot of these behaviors are seen both at home and at school. When Ryan is at the dinner table, he's rarely able to sit still. When he is sitting, he's tapping his fork or bobbing his leg and often interrupts others during conversations. At home, he also loses toys and can be found running around without any end in sight. When his parents realized that so many of these symptoms were similar in both locations, they decided to take him to the pediatrician to gather some more information. When Ryan's parents realized that so many of these symptoms were similar, they went to the doctor for some more information. His pediatrician worked with a licensed psychologist to conduct a series of observations in a variety of settings and administer a wide variety of assessments. Together, the information that they gathered determined that Ryan has ADHD, combined presentation type. This was his parents' first interaction with ADHD, so clearly they had a lot of questions. The first question simply being, what is ADHD? And the professionals responded by telling them that it is one of the most common neurobiological disorders out there. Recent data also shows that 8 to 10% of school-aged children meet the necessary criteria for a diagnosis of ADHD. ADHD can present itself in 3 different types. The first type being the inattentive type, where a child really has a hard time attending to anything for an extended period of time. These children are usually calm and are not impulsive. The second type is the hyperactivity type, and this is where a child can present adequate attentional control but has significant deficits when it comes to their level of activity or impulse control. These are the students who might literally be running around the auditorium instead of playing their saxophone. And the final type is the combined type, which is the most common form of ADHD. It is in the combined type that we see symptoms of both inattentiveness and hyperactivity and impulsivity. These students have trouble regulating their behavior and paying attention to others. It has been determined that ADHD is much more common in males than females. There currently isn't one direct cause of ADHD. Scientists have been working hard to gather information about what possibly could cause this. Some scientists believe that ADHD is genetic. This has been supported by research that shows that parents with ADHD are pretty likely to also have children with ADHD. Other scientists have been focusing their research on environmental factors. Their research has concluded that when mothers are exposed to different toxins during pregnancy, most commonly as a result of tobacco, alcohol, or lead, their children have been at a higher risk of developing ADHD. Ryan's doctors wanted to be absolutely positive that they were providing his family with the correct diagnosis. So they consulted the DSM-5 and compared the observed behaviors to the diagnostic criteria. In order to diagnose Ryan with ADHD combined presentation type, he had to have displayed 6 or more symptoms from each of the 2 categories for more than 6 months in 2 or more locations. He did, in fact, meet the criteria. In the inattention category, we saw that he often had difficulty sustaining attention in tasks. He often appeared to not listen when being spoken to directly. He often did not follow through on instructions and failed to complete tasks. He often lost things that were necessary for class and was easily distracted. In the hyperactivity and impulsivity category, they observed that Ryan often fidgeted or tapped his hands. He often left his seat when remaining in his seat was expected. He was running around the auditorium and jumping off the stage at a time when it was very inappropriate. He often talked excessively and blurted out answers inappropriately. He had difficulty waiting his turn and interrupted others in conversations and games. Because a full physical exam was conducted, the doctors were confidently able to say that none of these behaviors were a result of another medical condition. The doctors worked hard to come up with an appropriate treatment plan for Ryan. First, they suggested that his parents and teachers work together to come up with educational accommodations that could be covered under a 504 plan. Then they arranged for family behavior therapy sessions once a week. Additionally, Ryan was diagnosed 10 milligrams of Focalin every day. Now he takes 5 milligrams in the morning and 5 milligrams in the afternoon at lunchtime. Being one of 30 students in his class was certainly not easy for Ryan. His parents and teachers worked together to come up with a list of accommodations that could be implemented to help him be successful in the general education classroom. Some of the school accommodations found on his 504 plan are reducing the number of homework problems without reducing the level or content of what was being taught, providing him with a quiet place to work free from distractions, providing clear and simple directions for homework and in-class assignments with the use of visual cues, administering tests in a quiet place and providing extra time as needed, seating him in front of the classroom, close to the teacher and away from the windows, and using positive behavioral intervention techniques, including positive reinforcement. Ryan's treatment plan has helped to transform him both at school and at home. He is currently thriving in band and using his behavior rewards to share songs that he loves to play. He is more focused in school and at home, which has helped him to build more positive relationships with his family members and friends. He is continuing current treatment until the summer, where his parents will give him a break from medication to help boost his sleep and appetite. Ryan is a great example of how, with the correct treatment, students with ADHD can be very successful in school. Thank you for watching my ADHD case study, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder Combined Type. My name is Andrea Patty, and it has been a pleasure to share Ryan's story with you.